Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varisthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Offering my Sashtanga Pranam to Sri Ramakrishna, Mother Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda, I offer my heartfelt namaskars to all of you. Many people know about one great journalist of India. He is no more. His name was Khushwant Singh. Here, the Singh, Khushwant Singh, represents the Sardarji, the Punjab. You might have seen people with big beard and pagadi wearing on the head. It's a branch of Hinduism. They are the followers of the great Guru Nanak, who was the avatar of Janaka Maharaja. Janaka Maharaja had a desire to serve people, it seems. Ramakrishna tells in the Gospel. So he took 10 reincarnation as the 10 Gurus of the Sikhs. So the first was Guru Nanak. Later on, another famous Guru, Guru Govind Singh. Swami Vivekananda calls him one of the best Hindus. He calls him the best of the Hindus because he formed this Khalsa, or this group of warriors in the form whatever we Sikhs with that pagadi and the sword and other things to protect Hinduism. So it is an offshoot of Hinduism. There was one, as I told you in the beginning, Khushwant Singh. He was traveling in flight from Singapore maybe to Europe or somewhere else. He was sitting by the side of one Spanish lady. The Spanish lady had never seen a Sikh or a Sardarji in her life. Seeing that wonderful dress with the big pagadi and big beard and other things, she was surprised. So they were not at all talking for some time, maybe because of the fear the lady never spoke. After some time, because it was a long journey, she started speaking, both of them started speaking. Then she asked, "Who are you? What are you?" He told, "I am sick." Told, "Is it? I am very sorry, you should not have been sick." She told, "Sick means by health." Then Khushwant Singh wanted to explain it to her. No, I am not sick of health, but I am sick of religion. Oh, I don't like religion. I am also sick of religion. He couldn't explain it to her about what is meant by Sikh or Sikhism, whatever that might be. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, before any devotees whom we call the Brahma Samaj devotees, Ramachandra Datta and other things, the first people of ardent devotees were the Sikh devotees. So I shall take you through one episode. This episode indicates the reverence and awe in which those Sikh soldiers in the British army held the saint of Dakshineshwar, Sri Ramakrishna. The toiling, hard-working people had accepted Sri Ramakrishna as their trusted mentor, Guru, long before the elite of Calcutta discovered him, even before Keshav Chandra Sen discovered Ramakrishna, a true Brahmo, before Ramachandra Datta recognized Sri Ramakrishna in him, a semblance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or even before Williams and Prabhudayal Mishra perceived Jesus Christ in the person of Sri Ramakrishna. These six soldiers who were living in Calcutta, they were all soldiers in the British cantonment. There was a Sikh regiment. Deeply impressed by Sri Ramakrishna, the Sikh soldiers began telling many other people in and around Calcutta, to their relatives, to other people. According to one of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Akhandanandaji Maharaj, Swami Akhandanandaji, this direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, tells these Sikh devotees were the first who spread the glory of Sri Ramakrishna. They talked with their acquaintances about the extraordinary holy man. Hearing from them, a group of Marwadis of Rajasthan, Burra Bazar, they also started coming to Sri Ramakrishna. They were followed by other group of men and women, just as bees rushing towards the honeycomb. As I told you, the founder of this religion was Guru Nanak. Later on, it was followed by many saints, 10 gurus. One of them was Guru Arjan. Arjun becomes Arjan. This Guru Arjan said, "He who dwells throughout 8 watches of the day in the Lord's presence, that man, says Nanak, is perfect." Kabir too said, "Perfect in the world is he in whose heart there is no one else other than God." Moreover, the saint Guru Nanak hinted, signs appear on the face of that holy person in whose heart the true name of God is. The Sikh devotees were delighted to recognize in Sri Ramakrishna's person all these similar signs of holiness. They felt hard to discover that the saint was one of those few who have won the Lord's love and grace. Word spread among the Sikh soldiers who were living at Barakpur, a few miles north of Dakshineshwar. They started coming in groups to meet Sri Ramakrishna. Apart from the rank and file, there came Havildar Kaur Singh, a soldier of very high rank among the Sikh regiment, another Kumar Singh, and others. Every one of them became enchanted meeting Sri Ramakrishna as it were. All of them held Sri Ramakrishna in high regard. So deep was their regard that something very unusual happened one day. What was that? So now this group of Sikh soldiers, 900 strong army of Sikh soldiers was marching on the Barakpur road. You know, Barakpur road, if you go to Calcutta, you can find it even now too, that big broad road as it is. So that Barakpur road, this 900 strong contingent of the British army, the Sikh regiment, was marching. The leader of the troop, an English captain, was riding the horse. Leaving the cantonment at Barakpur, the battalion was on the move towards Fort William in Calcutta. All of a sudden, the soldiers who were marching stopped. They raised a slogan. What is the slogan of the Sikhs? Vahe Guru ki Pate. The Guru is their highest. They raised a slogan, Vahe Guru ki Pate. All of a sudden, the soldiers raised a slogan and dropping their guns aside, they prostrated themselves on the road, center of the road. All the 800 or 900 soldiers, they threw their guns, they fell flat, Sastanga Pranam, on that Barakpur road, leaving their guns, prostrated themselves on the ground in honor of a man coming from the opposite direction. Naturally, if the army is marching, that too, during the British period, you might have seen in the apartheid, the white man used to come, all the others should leave the way, all the vehicles should go away. So all the horse carriages were set aside. So while this British army is marching, now these people fell flat. Who was there in one of the phaeton or that horse carriage? It was none other than Saint of Dakshineshwar Sri Ramakrishna. He was sitting in the horse carriage and traveling. Because the horse carriage went aside and stopped, he thought, what is going on? He came out, stood on that stake of that horse carriage, and he looked, and they all saw their Guru. When the Guru comes, finish, the 6 soldiers, they surrender. They threw the gun, they forgot everything, fell flat. On the road, center of the road. That was the intense devotion. What would be the punishment? They will be hanged, court-martialed, because they are going against the army rules. They didn't care for their lives. That was the devotion. That was the devotion. That man was none other than Saint of Dakshineshwar Sri Ramakrishna. He was traveling in a phaeton in the company of Mathurnath Vishwas. In return, when they fell flat, in return, the saint raised his hand in benediction. The gesture of 6 soldiers was a token of high esteem and devotion in which they held Sri Ramakrishna. Now, will this British Christian man withstand this insult? That too in the army? So the white captain, he became terribly angry and started shouting at them because of their open defiance of the rules. The captain shouted at them, but Sergeant Korsing, the captain, explained. He went and explained that they revered the Guru as their very own Guru, Ramakrishna as their own Guru. And what they had done was in keeping with their tradition of the Sikhs. He also hinted to the enraged English captain that they were prepared to face any consequence, even if they are shot or hanged, because that will be court-martial. That too during the British period, you can understand. If you disobey, death. We are ready to face for our Guru. He hinted to the captain, we are ready to face anything. Now they were court-martialed, there was a committee formed, and in that they were all asked, now do you think Ramakrishna will keep quiet? The Lord will keep quiet? What happened? The whole situation changed for those army people, the Sikh devotees. Now the British government, as a matter of policy at that time, just before that had happened in India, 1857, the first war of Indian independence, which the British called the Sepoy Mutiny. So they were afraid if they punish these people, then there will be another mutiny. There will be another uprising and the British might have had to go away. So they thought, let us not punish them, we will forgive them this time, otherwise there may be a mutiny, and they were all forgiven. So if you have that intense devotion to the Lord, as Lord Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, He will always protect you. They were ready to give up their life, and Ramakrishna protected them. So the British government did want to hurt the religious sentiment of the soldiers. The intelligent captain swallowed his words and everything was forgiven. Now, what a wonderful incident. Is there any proof? Yes. Lord Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, the 31st verse, in the 9th chapter, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat chantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktah pranashyati. My devotee will never perish, will never be destroyed. These are the words of Lord Krishna. Remember, the 9th chapter, 31st, if you are a true devotee of Lord, always remember this in the time of crisis. The Lord will never allow you to perish or destroy. The words of Krishna, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. That devotee of mine will quickly become virtuous. He will progress forward in spiritual life and attain everlasting peace. Shashvat. Shashvata means everlasting. Chantim nigachyati. O son of Kunti is telling Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, declare boldly to the whole universe. Krishna is telling Arjuna, declare it to the whole world. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that no devotee of mine will ever be lost or perish. Name na pranashyati. Name bhaktaha, my devotee will never perish. But simply because you call yourself devotee, that is not enough. Take the example of those soldiers. They were ready to sacrifice their life. I think in 4 or 5 satsangs earlier, I took up one shloka. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Ananyaha chintayanto mam. Those who always think of me, meditate on me. Ananya means na anya. Anya means separate. Ananya means not separated. They think myself as one with them. Such devotees, I will not only look after their worldly, spiritual needs, I will also take care of their worldly needs also. Krishna has promised. Everything I will take care. So you can see how Ramakrishna, the Lord, protected those 6 soldiers. They were to be dead. But because of the devotee has promised as Krishna, Ramakrishna has promised as Krishna, Name bhaktaha pranashyati. Always remember these words. At least if you cannot remember the whole verse of Bhagavad Gita, at least the last part, a quarter of it. Name bhaktaha pranashyati. Remember it. My devotee will never perish, Krishna's promise. So, another thing here is to be noted. Shri Krishna is asking Arjuna to boldly declare to the world that his devotees will never perish. Why? Krishna himself could have declared. Why does he want Arjuna to declare? Is there anything in it that his devotees will never perish? He does not say that a gnana margi, a gnani, a man who has taken up the marga of gnana will not perish. Has he told? He will not tell about a yogi or a gnani. He tell only bhaktaha pranashyati, the devotees only. So, devotion, bhakti marga has something special. Devotees are something special. He makes his promise for the devotees, bhaktas only, saying that they shall never come to ruin. Thereby, he reiterates that he has stated in the verse 9:22, 9 chapter 22 verse, that is Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, that he personally carries the burden of maintaining those who depend upon him and engage in exclusive devotion unto him. Intense faith and intense sacrifice for the Lord. It may seem intriguing why Krishna asked Arjuna to make this statement instead of declaring it himself. The reason is that under special circumstances, the Lord may sometimes break his own words. But the Lord is so fond of his devotees, he'll never break the word of devotees. He may break his own words for the devotees, but he will never break the word of his devotees. That's why he is telling his devotee Arjuna to declare. Any example? For example, Sri Krishna in the Mahabharata war had resolved that he will not lift any weapons during the Mahabharata war. But his devotee Bhishma had promised that he will make Krishna lift the weapon, or I will kill Arjuna. Either one will happen in the battle. By sunset the next day, or make the Lord Krishna take up his weapon, lift weapon to protect Arjuna. Now Sri Krishna, broke his own vow that he will not lift up weapon or take weapon in the war, only to keep up the vow of Bhishma, his devotee. He broke his own words for the sake of his devotee. That's why he's telling Arjuna, you declare. Why? He will not break the word of his devotees. Now, we have heard this wonderful verse. Now, that was that yuga, Dwapara Yuga. Any examples now? Swami Vivekananda tells. He went while as an itinerant monk to the bank of Saraswati. Saraswati Nadi has got Gupta Gamini. He went there to meet one great saint who was living at that time. His name was Raghunatha Dasa. He went there to meet him. But Swami Vivekananda tells Raghunatha Das had died just 2 months earlier. He was a contemporary. Just that saint had died 2 months earlier. Speaking about the modern saints of India, like Pavahari Baba, Trilinga Swami and Raghunath Das, now Vivekananda is telling, I went to see him on the bank of Saraswati. Raghunath Das had died 2 months earlier when Swamiji reached his ashram. This Raghunath Das had been a soldier in the British service and as an outpost sentinel, and he was very faithful. He was a very good man, loyal and much beloved of all the British officers. But another more great quality was a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra, Prabhu Ramachandra. One night, while he was guarding the British officers, that office or this house, there was a party of Rama Bhakta devotees, just like singing and going, walking, Ram ka bhajan karke ja rahe the. Ram, Ram, Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. The moment he heard it, he couldn't withstand. He was such a great devotee of Ramachandra. The moment he heard Ramachandra Prabhu ki jai, he threw away his gun and left his post and went and joined that bhajan group. That Ram Ram party one night, however, he heard that Ram Ram. He tried to do his duty. He couldn't because his pull of the devotion of Ramachandra was very high. Jai Bolo Ramachandra Ji ki Jai, he told and ran to that party and started dancing. Maddened by the devotion of Rama, he threw away his arms and uniform and joined the worship, the bhajan party. This went on for some time in the night till reports came to the colonel. He sent for Raghunath Das and asked him whether that this was true. He was truthful. He told, yes, sir. Do you know what is the penalty? Yes, sir. I knew I will be shot. Well, said the colonel, you are very loyal. I like you very much. Go away this time and you should not repeat it once more. This once I will forgive you. But if you do the same thing, you will be shot dead. You must suffer the penalty. Again, the next night. However, the sentinel, in the night he heard that there was Ram Nam party going on, Ram Bhajan going on in the street. Now this Raghunath Das couldn't resist. He tried. Once he hears Rama gone, everything is gone. He did his best, but it was irresistible. He was such a great devotee of Rama. The moment he heard Prabhu Ramachandra ki jai, forgets everything and runs. At last he threw all to the winds and joined the worshippers till the morning. He left everything and joined the bhajan group till the morning. Meanwhile, what happened here? The colonel, trust in Raghunath Das had been so great that he found it difficult to believe anything against him, the complaint given by others. So, even on his own confession, even if Raghunath Das himself confessed, he would not believe. So, in the course of night, he went to test him and visited the outpost to see for himself now that Raghunath Das was in his place with the gun. There he is in the bhajan party. He has thrown away the guns and this uniform and gone to the bhajan party there. But here, there is one more Raghunath standing with the gun. So the colonel saw, thought the complaint is false. He's there standing. I saw with my own eyes. And he also exchanged few words with him to test. 3 times, not once, exchanged words with him 3 times. Then being reassured, the colonel turned in and went to sleep. In the morning, now Raghunath doesn't know anything. I will be punished. He went to surrender the weapon. In the morning appeared Raghunath Das to report himself and surrender his arms and get the penalty. But the colonel is not ready to accept his resignation. For the colonel told him what he himself has seen and heard. I saw you, how can you tell the falsehood? You were here, I talked to you. You were the whole night standing here. Thunderstruck, Raghunath Das insisted by some means. What happened? Ramachandra himself came and stood guard with that gun to protect his devotee. While the devotee is busy there, he doesn't want his devotee to be in trouble. The Lord himself came, took the form of Raghunath Das, and he stood there. Hearing that, Raghunath Das became so much surprised. Oh Lord, you have come to protect me. You have done this for your servant. Henceforward, I will never serve anybody other than you. I was serving the British masters. I will never serve the real master, the Lord Ramachandra, other than you. I will not. He gave up everything and went. He became a Vairagi, a renunciate. He became a Vairagi. Said Swami Vivekananda about his story in the complete works. He made his ashrama on the bank of Saraswati. People thought him to be ignorant, but Vivekananda is telling, I knew his power. Daily, this saint would feed thousands of people. So, if you have to feed, you need money, you need groceries, you need everything. Then would come the grain seller after a while with his bill. Raghunath Das would say, 1,000 rupees you say. At that time, 1,000 rupees means something like 100,000 rupees. Let me see. In a month, I think since I have received nothing, this will come, don't worry, by the grace of Ramachandra. And fancy, the next day, tomorrow, that money came from God knows. So Vivekananda himself has told this life of Raghunath Das in the complete works. So always remember, Name Bhaktaha Pranashyati. The true devotee who always depends upon God, who surrenders to God, who does the work of God, will never perish. Remember these words, Name Bhaktaha Pranashyati. My devotees will never get destroyed or perish. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.